What's
Well,
up?
how you doing?
Not too bad.
Good, man.
You?
Good, thanks.
The Monday.
Was it the Monday of all Mondays for you?
No, not yet, but it's coming.
Why? It's still, I mean, dude, it's 8 o'clock.
Well, no, not this Monday. I just mean Mondays in general. With
Oh, that's
with yeah, with my work schedule or the way my work works, we get just so crazy between the end of snow until the 4th of July when
oh,
everyone's showing up to their summer homes and projects are trying to get finished because people are wanting for Memorial Day or 4th of July, and so
it's
it's usually a little stressful this time of year.
it's something that when I lived in Florida, I didn't think about the seasonal stuff. Like I was still doing the same job, but in Florida, we just built consistently all year long. And so then I move up here and I'm so happy to be back. But I realistically depend a lot on a developer's ability to get a shovel in the ground when the frost is out and then build a building for me to put a Chipotle in before the end of fucking December. So it's like it it's I do so much managing of landlords. It's so seasonal, like you said. As soon as the snow melts, it's like hurry the fuck up. We got to get everything in the ground, otherwise we're not going to make it.
Yeah. Yep. It's a different way of doing it, that's for sure. Living, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, it's the demand for just like having stuff done by the people that live on the lake is just unreal.
Due
Like
to their
do
knowing
it.
how much money they have. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I have a love-hate with Traverse City. I love it here. I
yeah,
do. But I remember what it was 25 years ago, 30 years ago,
yeah.
and I have a hate of it now, but also wouldn't have the business I have without. So it's kind of like double-edged sword. What are you gonna do? I could, have a pretty decent living or have no people, and what do you do? It is what it is.
You're right, and we have struggled putting a Chipotle up there because believe it or not, people don't want to relocate. Like they don't want to move from downstate up there, and I believe we believe it's exclusively cost of living.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, you can't live here unless you make, I don't know, six figures. I
Yeah,
mean, comfortably.
yeah.
Really? I mean, I believe that now. Like, I don't think, there is no workforce housing. There is no, I mean, 20 years ago, it used to be you'd go into like the middle of the county and it would be, you could find affordable housing.
Yeah,
Well, not anymore. This place has been discovered.
yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like the people that have money uh are not affected by, or they're affected, but they don't look at economic downturn the same as most people. And so it's like they actually look at it as opportunity. And so when you're in that area, it's kind of like you said, it's that double-edged sword where it's crazy, it's booming, there's tons of people, they have tons of money, they want to spend it and they want to spend it fast and they want to spend it now. But also if you were elsewhere, you may not have that. And so,
Yeah.
you got to kind of, like you said, take the good with the bad. And like you said, good problem to have.
Yeah, it is a good problem to have, but it's also then now well, let's play devil's advocate again. Now trying to have employees is the same. They can't afford. I mean, I believe we pay very, very well for, starting out guys, but it just you can't afford to live. You just can't afford to live here
Yeah.
on what let's say a young electrician makes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you cool with all this being left in?
absolutely,
Okay.
dude. I don't. Yeah, dude. Oh, absolutely.
I
There's
mean, we
no.
haven't really said anything crazy. I just,
No, no, I just said that the rich people give me my money is all. So that's, hey, they're not listening to a hunting podcast. I can promise
nobody
you
listens to
that.
this. Nobody listens to my podcast anyway. So who gives a
You too. I'm the same way. It's all good. It's all good.
I just do
I'll
this for
listen
me.
to
Yeah, thank you.
it.
I mean, outside of the very small circle of people that I know listen, nobody else is listening. There's certainly no rich people listening that I know.
No, 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 and that's definitely not mine either. It's one of those things that's we talking about that. I chased numbers for a little while when I first started, and I was getting upset, and finally I kind of realized I'm like, dude, I just love talking about this stuff and love doing it, and I really could care less anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like to know that I like to know. So I do look at numbers as well. Um, I don't care if I ever get to X number of downloads a month. I
Yes.
don't care. But I do like to be able to have something tangible that says what you're doing is working. And so I do look at them and I'm curious why certain episodes have more downloads than other episodes and what I did differently, whether it be on social media or whether it be did I not put the right tags in my posts? Like I'm always curious, or is it just the algorithm fucking us?
I think it's the algorithm. I don't know. I guess I care, but I don't care. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, of course.
It's, but I just enjoy doing it. I
Right.
love doing it, kind
And
of like you.
you're able to make friends with the fact that this isn't what we're doing for a living.
No.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of people that start podcasts and want to be able to do this for a living. I would love to be able to do this for a living. It ain't gonna happen, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, no. No, I agree. Yeah, I don't really know. Even a lot of the like, big guys have full-time jobs.
oh yeah.
There's very few people that are doing this
Well,
as a living.
you just said you can't even live in TC without six figures. Yeah, I mean, only the top.
Comfortably. You can, but
Well, yeah,
comfortably,
right.
to live uh, to be able to go out to dinner once a week or,
Mm-hmm. Have
you
multiple
better,
kids in sports.
yes, yeah.
Have a decent
You,
vehicle. Go on trips. Go hunting. In state, out of state, upstate,
no,
downstate. Like shit ain't cheap anymore.
no, it's not. It's crazy. I was just looking at, I need to buy a new truck and I just can't. I look at these prices and I'm like, man, I paid less for my first house than this truck is going to cost. And to go, I don't know. How do you justify $100,000 for a pickup truck? Or how do you justify $60,000 for a pickup
No
truck?
way. You could buy
Eh,
10 beaters over and over. You could buy a beater for 10 grand. My algorithm has figured me out. I've been looking at like 90s, like minivans or conversion vans that have 200,000 miles on them, but they're like $7,000. I don't need a new vehicle, but I'm looking at them. And so I'm thinking to myself, if and when my truck shits the bed, I'm not spending $100,000 on a new truck. I don't
no.
need a truck. I need an SUV. I have three kids that don't want to look at each other or talk to each other. And so, how do we drive? Like this whole weekend, we were at a hockey tournament an hour away. And my wife has a Ram and I have a Ram. So we have the quad cab. So there's a lot of room back there, but the kids are still physically touching each other the whole ride. They don't want to do that anymore.
Hmm.
They can't agree on who's in the middle, who gets the windows. The two older kids get the windows, but then the middle kid, the littlest one's in the middle, and she pokes one and punches the other one because they're playing slug bug or whatever when they see a yellow car. Like, I need an SUV. I need the kids to be able to spread out. I'll buy a piece of shit and then throw it away when it's done before I spend $100,000.
We just got my wife a minivan.
How does she feel about it?
Oh, my wife wanted to buy a minivan before we had kids.
Oh,
She has no problem with the minivan, but it made sense. It was finally, it made sense to we between having the two kids and then, whenever one or two, another one comes over or you try
mm-hmm.
to shit, you almost need a damn semi to haul these kids around.
I can't believe how many times we have to have the conversation. Oh, we can't do this or take so and so because we don't have enough seats.
You know, and now
Well,
with the new, well, we did it because of the new Michigan law too, where I think it's like 12 before they can ride in the front seat.
yeah,
Anyway, that's nuts.
I know it's ridiculous.
My kid's driving our side by side around the farm, but he can't has to ride in the back of the truck. It's
And
crazy. So we wanted that third row.
yeah,
There was no possible way.
now when we were little, I mean, I can't remember how. I think we're the same age. When we were little, there was no. I don't think there was car seats. Like I don't remember ever riding in a car seat. And I know that when we went on road trips, I laid on the floor in the back seat as we would drive to Florida, and then pee in a coffee can because my dad didn't want to stop.
I remember we took a trip to Baltimore, and my parents had a minivan, an Astro van, and we took the rear seat out and made like a grotto basically in the
Hell
back of this
yeah.
thing, and me and my brother and my cousin rode all the way to Maryland in that thing, just like hanging out on the floor. No problem. We were gonna hit something. We were flying. No doubt.
And we're here to talk about it. So yeah, I know you got it. Sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I don't wish that upon anybody, but hey, listen, that was those were better times.
Those were much better times. I have said I'm 44.
Same.
I wish I was my age right now in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, I just think that was the late 80s, early 90s for everything, you know.
Do you read? Like, not can you read? Do you read?
No, I do not. I do not. And I don't know if I can either. Well,
You
that's the
can.
jury's out on that.
I know you can read plans. I guess that doesn't really count.
Yeah, I can do numbers. I got that down.
Numbers and math, but no reading. Well, I just started reading a book called The Anxious Generation, and it was recommended to my wife and I by another parent on my son's hockey team. And it all has to do with how childhood changed with the invention of the smartphone. And then, like, coinciding with how children's adolescence has changed, sort of like mental dilemmas, so to speak, changed. Basically, they call it the rewiring of our children's of the childhood. And so he goes into and elaborates on what it was like when you and I were kids. And like what age you were able to free range the neighborhood, what age you were able to go downtown or go to a friend's house unsupervised. Um, and it makes me realize that I am such a pussy with my own kids,
Same.
and I gotta let go a little bit because it makes me a little frightened for what that's going to do for them to meet their social like milestones. Because not only do my kids get homeschooled, so they're not socially interacting with as many children. Like they do a lot of things. Like, don't get me wrong, homeschool is not like it was in the 80s and 90s. It's very active these days. So they do socially interact with a lot of children, but not as much as like a public school. So they're homeschooled kids, and I won't let them ride their bikes downtown like my 14-year-old daughter. You know,
A good call.
am I a pussy? Like at 14, I could fucking go wherever I
Nah,
wanted.
it was so much safer back then, though. I mean, I really
So
believe that
claims that it is safer today than it was back then.
because of like cameras and everything, or
Well,
uh,
I think what's happening is, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, negative shit is just what clicks and it's what you're seeing and it's what gets on the news. And so, yeah, the bad stuff has always happened, but that's all you're seeing today. And so, if you only see the news stories of little Tina gets hit by a car or little Randy gets run over on his way to the bus stop, like, you know, there's not a lot of young Randys anymore, but I mean, I wish there were. That's all you're seeing. So you think it's just nonstop. There's not as many sexual predators. He was saying sexual predators prefer to be online because it's a little bit safer. Like you get the random diddler, you know, who's going to drive around and do some shit. And yes, of course, that's always happened. But he was
yeah,
like, the study shows that sexual predators prefer to be at home. They prefer to do things online in secret. And then, you know, they want to rub one out in the privacy of their own home. And so realistically, it's safer now than it's ever been. I don't know. I didn't do the study.
well, no, it makes sense. Because of this, we are able to know about it. We know about
Right.
everything. There's no secrets anymore.
Right.
You know about everything,
Yep.
and especially with and I have a love hate for social media. I love it for the fact that there's this like I'd have never met you without social media.
Mhm.
I love it for those aspects.
Yeah.
I hate it for the fact that I know when somebody took a shit. I don't need to know when you took a shit. I take shit every day. I don't post about it. I don't tell you about it. I, I hate that I know everything about everybody.
Yeah. I agree. Man, that's so interesting. When you think back to when you were a kid, and forgive me because I don't want to ask a question and have it strike a chord negatively, but
There's nothing you can say to me that's going to strike me. I'm bulletproof.
like, are your parents still alive?
Yes.
Okay. So like when you think back to being a kid and you would go places and your parents were doing things, do you think that they knew, like, was their circle of influence, or like was their world, whatever was right there in front of them, like did they know what everybody that they know was doing, do you think? Or is it like at the gossip when they were smoking and drinking at a party playing euchre, did they know what the five people in that immediate 2 mile radius was doing, and that's it?
I believe that. I believe
Yeah.
that, and you'd find, when you'd catch up with people. It was actually truly, you'd truly catch up with people. Now you don't have to catch up with people because all you got to do is get on Instagram or Facebook and you know what's going on. And so, I mean, I feel like like holidays have become way less special because
Yeah.
of social media.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very surface level these days.
Yes.
And, and that's partially on me. And I will take onus on this. Like, I feel like I know more people today that are more spread out. So I don't see them very frequently. And they may post things that are a little cryptic, and you could read into because they're not like very black and white. And then you think to yourself, wonder what that means. But then you keep moving. I mean, at least I do. So occasionally I will reach out to people, but we've developed this sort of surface level relationships where it's like, I see so and so's posting. I know they're still alive and kicking, but like, man, what did that mean? Are they struggling with something? Are they dealing with something at home? And, I think it's harder for us today to keep in touch because we don't see people as much. We're seeing them online and that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
I really liked going to the Mobile Hunter Road shows because I could see dudes and we could hang out and you'd catch up. And the expo where I got to meet you, and you know, that's great. I love that kind of stuff. I would go to more if we had more things in Michigan.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole deer camp thing. That's why,
Yeah,
for getting everybody together. Um, yeah, you were just on was Blasey on yours or were you on Blasey's and you
I
were
had
talking
Aaron.
about this? Yeah, and you guys were talking about um deer camps and shit.
Well, it's weird. Like I really like to go by myself on a relatively risky adventure. I'm not talking about going to the south side of Chicago in a white Prius and try to buy a dime bag off of somebody. I'm talking about I want to go to southeast Ohio in the hills with no cell service, and I want to do my best to figure some shit out, like by myself. I would go with other people, and then similarly, when I go out of town, like I want to just hunt. I I don't drink. I don't want to stay up and drink. I would stay up and hang out, but like I don't want to. I'm not a part. I don't party anymore.
I
And
don't,
that's weird.
no, it's not. It's I mean, I don't I'm taking a little siesta right now from drinking and I'm like enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like more than I would have thought I would enjoy it. I am enjoying just feeling good, not worrying about, oh shit, now I can't drive to the store because I had a couple drinks or
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But I mean, we just did turkey camp and with Kevin from the Deer Hunter podcast, his brother and Byron. And I mean, dude, we were in bed by 10 o'clock
That
every
makes
night.
me good. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. I mean, it's one of those things. Like I'm the first. You ask anybody that I run with in these camps or anything like that, I'm the first guy to go to bed every time, and I'm
Do you,
okay with that. I
do
have
you
no
Irish
shame in my
goodbye it?
game.
Do you
What's
Irish
that?
goodbye? Do you Irish goodbye it and you just like
Hell yeah, just
turn
gone. See you
around?
later.
Where'd Hutchie go?
See you later. See you later. All right. Let's see. The last time I went to the mobile trailer there and I told one of the guys, Matt Zaw, I told him I'm gonna go check my batteries. I'm like charging batteries, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, mine is I'm gonna go piss and then I don't come back to the campfire.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I mean I think it's kind of you can do it's it's not like it was back in the day when you were shamed into
Yeah.
you have to stay up and party. You have to party. No, you do what you want.
Yeah. I can't, I mean, I don't know if I could physically do it. I honestly do not know. I haven't had an alcoholic beverage in over 2 years. And I'm in pain just from my everyday life, just from I'm like 20 pounds overweight just because of my
Yeah.
food relationships. But I can't imagine getting drunk and how I would feel.
Oh, dude, I can tell you how I was
Fuck.
feeling, and I'm feeling way. I mean, I think it's been like 3 weeks or something like that, and I can already feel like the inflammation going away,
That's so
and
good.
it feels good. It feels good, and I'm enjoying it, man. I thought, well, I went to turkey camp, and I mean, what do you do when you go to camp most of the time? You have some drinks, and I didn't, and I was like, man, this is all right. This is all right. I'm okay with this. Not
Tell me
saying
about,
it's forever, but
oh, yeah.
for now.
Well, someone just asked me the other day, are you done drinking forever? And I said, the deal that I have made is if I go to Kansas, this has been the deal every time, ever since I've been going, is if I can go to Kansas and get it done, I'm going to have a celebratory drink. That's it. I'm
Oh
not going
yeah.
to get hammered, but I'll have a
Hmm.
celebratory beer or cocktail if I can go out of state and get it done.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll be with my brother and it'll be kind of like a cool thing, that'll probably be what it is.
Is that what you guys are doing this year, going to Kansas?
Man, I hope so. They haven't put out the results yet, but I'm really hoping so.
Okay.
Tell me about
Okay.
tell me about Turkey Camp. Where'd you guys do it at?
We did it. Kevin's got some property in the area, and we went over there and we just camped on his property and
Hmm,
did some state land stuff. He killed a bird.
I saw that.
We did not, but I'll tell you what, my son's got the itch. Like
Really?
big. Oh man. I'm not, I mean, I'll go turkey hunting. I don't care. I mean, it's one of those things like I don't, I'll go, but I'm not gonna like if I don't go, it's okay. I'll go fishing over turkey hunting. But yeah, he had the itch, man. He made me get up and we worked for some turkeys. We didn't do any good, but
Were you in
okay.
them?
No.
Oh,
We saw two sets of Jakes from the road, and we made plays on the one set of them, and just couldn't get it done.
that's what kills me on them. Is like you can be in them, like
Yeah.
in them, and some hen takes them the complete other fucking direction for absolutely no reason
Well, I'm hoping that your listeners and my listeners, the four that we have or seven or whatever it is, none of
combined.
them are conservation officers because I'm ruined from turkey hunting from my younger days of we would just ride around the goddamn pickup truck in the orchards, the cherry orchards up here, find birds, jump out of the truck and shoot them. It was just like no fun. I never
Whatever
got
you
into the
saw,
what's that?
it was whatever you saw, not necessarily
Oh,
Big Tom or.
Tom or Jake
Oh,
or
okay,
whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've never shot a turkey. Um, I have gone with my son and I have called birds in. I have gotten bored and gone exploring to try and like ground stalk them and come back to my tent and they were circling the tent. So I didn't even, this is the first year where I just didn't even buy a tag. It just, it doesn't really do anything for me.
No, it's everyone's like, oh, it's like elk hunting. I'm like, well, I've never been elk hunting, but if this is what elk hunting like, I guess I don't need to do that either because
Yeah.
it's not that fun.
I do enjoy calling and having them return call. Like I liked that.
Yeah.
Um, but I would rather just spend this time of year like scouting for deer and looking for new properties. Like that is I would much rather do that. So how many days did you guys spend over there?
Just 2 nights, Friday night,
Two
Saturday
nights.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the
Just a
weather?
quick
Was it
weekend.
perfect?
Oh, dude, it's perfect. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. We actually went out there. We went back out there last weekend, last Saturday night, and I took my daughter and Kevin took his daughter, and we just camped out there for the night because had to pull campers and everything. And the boys and the mothers were at the Kane Brown concert, so we were
Mm,
was daddy daughter time.
very cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good time.
Nice.
It's always fun. I love camping, man. I love it.
Yeah. I like camping, but my kids don't like camping. I think what they like is eating camp food,
That's okay.
but they don't like to sleep in the camper.
Okay, really? See, I
Yeah,
love like I sleep better in my camper than I do in my bed at home. I swear. It's
really.
yeah. Well, I got a queen mattress in my camper, like a real queen mattress, and it's
Hmm.
just super comfortable. And I don't know, something about sleeping in a trailer.
I like it nice and cold, so that's the only thing. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind sleeping in my camper. It's just that the kids are fussy, and when I say fussy, annoying. Like the two of them are at the annoying age, like where they hate
Okay.
it. My oldest daughter only wants to hang out with her friends.
Hmm.
My son just wants to eat 500 s'mores, um, and then the little one just wants to go home. So
Oh, they said it was going to be fun having kids. It is fun. I shouldn't say that,
yeah,
but man, if they're what the personalities they get, dude, it's nuts.
yeah,
My daughter's 5 going on 30, I think.
yeah. That's same. Like mine's 6 going on 30. Same
Okay.
exact thing. And I don't know if it's they're getting like influence from the older siblings.
I think so.
Dude, it's amazing because the other two weren't like this at all.
Yeah.
What are
Um,
your kids in sports?
no, not really. Golf. Shane's golfing. Doesn't do well with like the team stuff. Just doesn't he's a bigger kid, and so he's not fast by any means. So he gets very discouraged on himself. So yeah, he just kind of we've tried baseball, we've tried soccer, we've tried football. He did okay in football. Um, once he finally realized, like, hey, oh, I am a big kid, I can push these guys around. But yeah, no, he does a lot of golf. And we've been golfing quite a bit, so he's liking that. But
Does he,
no hockey. I can't afford that.
well, hey, listen, I've been having this conversation a lot too. I just heard from a friend of mine that his 11-year-old's travel soccer is more expensive than my son's travel hockey.
Believe it.
So it has always been we can't afford hockey. We can't from other everyone always says we can't afford hockey. I
Yep.
think all the sports are doing it to you guys to everybody.
Yeah.
It's like we all got to make $3,500 a month from every sport. So let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a heart. I'm not a huge travel sports fan because I think it takes away from the kids being kids, and that's just my opinion.
100%.
But
There's a time and a place for it, and what they've done is they've moved it, scooched it up earlier in their lives, and it's too much too soon.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like second, third graders on travel teams. It's like, what? Let them
So
be kids.
I can't remember what the age was. I want to say 2014 birthday, so they'd be like 10-year-olds. Um, there was a Petoskey hockey team at the tournament we were at last week, this past weekend in Trenton. So like as far down as you can go in south of Detroit, that team from fucking Petoskey had to come down to play a tournament down here. And my buddy Adam, who lives in Traverse City, has some doctor friends whose kids play travel hockey, and they're always down here because there's not enough teams up there. So you'd be spending every week down here anyway, every weekend
We have a family that we hang out with. Their daughter plays travel softball, and she's on a team out of Grand Rapids.
from
Has
up
to go
there.
down there to practice. Yeah, from up here because there wasn't a good enough team. That's things like that. I just look at that and it's like, and then the two other kids get drug along because the family's got to go, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just I see that, and I think that's probably what turned me off the most. It's just
Yeah.
like, man, these other two don't want to be there. They have to be there because of the family dynamic. You have to. If mom and dad are going to be there, you can't leave the young kids at home by themselves.
Yeah.
At least anymore. You used to be able to. I did want to circle back, not to run your podcast, but
No, by all means, I
um,
have absolutely nothing written down. This was just going to be a wherever it goes is good.
these are the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love just bullshitting. But anyway, you were talking about you like to go alone.
Oh yeah.
I, I'm the exact opposite. I want to go like how half the time I want to go hunting with somebody.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sitting in the same tree, but like,
Yeah.
hey, you go this way, I go that way, kind of thing. I love going on track jobs with people. I'm a big like want to do it with everybody else.
Now I should clarify. I like to be in the same area as other people. Um, what I mean is, I don't necessarily, and I've talked to my brother about this. So if he hears this, he's not going to be mad. I told him this year, I was like, dude, you need to drive your own truck to Kansas this year. Cause, you know, if I get a wild hair and want to go 45 minutes west and you're super happy right where we're at, I don't want to drop you off 45 minutes early or vice versa. Like you drive 45 minutes and drop me off and I'm without a vehicle. So
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'll never go on a hunting trip without my own vehicle.
yeah.
Like never. I mean, if somebody wants to come with me, they're welcome to, but because just because of what you said right there, you might get a while. Or what happens if somebody gets sick and you have to go home? Or,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you kill the first day and you're there for 10 days and, there's five of you. So it's not like it's just you and one guy where you got to stay and you can take
Mm-hmm.
off. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
I,
I agree, and I do love like I wish I would have had somebody with me in Illinois when I shot that big deer. I desperately wish I would have had somebody. I'll never be able to relive that. I can't recreate that unless I do it again with somebody. But like the way that season was set up, I was only going to be able to hunt that when I was going over there for work. Like I wasn't really just like taking time off to go. I was going to Iowa for work that day or the next day. And I was like, I'm just going to go hunt it on the way. And it worked out. I mean, I don't know anybody out there. I couldn't have called anybody. It was just, but I desperately wish I would have had somebody there with me to kind of like soak that in. And so I don't know how do you navigate that?
I don't know. You just go. I mean, well, I'm gonna invite all my buddies and we're just gonna go. Is how I'm gonna do it.
Well,
Um,
like Matt Lear shoots that giant deer in Illinois. He called um, Vince's
you
wife, and he literally waited at his truck for them. I suppose I could have tried that. I just don't know who I would have called.
Yeah, that's a lot. But shit, they were even a few hours away, weren't they? I mean,
We were like
like,
5 hours away.
yeah,
Yeah, he was way down there.
damn, that's that's a long wait by the truck.
When
But yeah,
when you know what's out there.
oh
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I mean,
I, well, you did a camp last year with what DJ was with you guys, and I mean, stayed with you guys. That was how was that? That was a good time, wasn't it?
that was a great time, and that's kind of what I was trying to say to Aaron. Like that was perfect because it was not. Yeah. So when we went to Nebraska for their opener in the September 1st opener, there was four of us, and we all stayed at an Airbnb, and we would stay up late and talk. Um, but there was no one was partying. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a rager. And we did all four have our own vehicles, and we did all four hunt in four different areas. And I think that was great because we would all reconvene, for a late dinner. Kind of what did we do? What did we see? Where we do? What are we doing tomorrow? And I think we were probably all in bed before midnight, except for when we
Oh,
had it.
that's
Yeah.
shit. You're right in there with the camp or the your camp mentality. Then perfect.
Yeah. It just there was no raging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're looking for, I mean I'm there to hunt. I'm there to have a good time, but I'm there to hunt. Am I
Yeah.
gonna rage after I kill a giant? Well, yeah, probably for a night, and I'm gonna
That's true.
regret it. But I'm there to hunt. I'm there to eat, I'm there to hunt, I'm there to, sit around, play some cards and do that.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's how it kind of was when we did when we did the deer camp or the deer hunter uh Kevin's deer camp last year. It
Yeah.
was like there was multiple groups like me and the Habitat Boys, and we'd hunt together, but we wouldn't like hunt like you know so if there was little pods of all sorts of guys, and then everyone would come together in the middle at the fire every night and just kind of some guys were going hard, some guys were hard hunting. It was kind of whatever you wanted to get out of it, but there was no having to you didn't feel like you had to stay up and party, you didn't feel like you had to go hunting if you didn't want to.
Was that the camp where I watched all those dark, nighttime videos of Boogeyman going wild,
Yes.
crazy?
Yes. So we pulled back in as that was going on. Like we were out, we were looking for a deer that one of the guys had shot, and yeah, we pulled back into that shit show.
I had never heard of him or seen him prior to those videos, and I was die laughing. And then, of course, I met him at the expo, and he's just such a nice guy.
Dude,
Um,
he's like
yeah,
the nicest salt of the earth
yeah,
guy. I mean, if you talk about a just great individual, that guy. And if you were to judge him by his cover, you probably wouldn't think that, but man, he sure is.
hilarious. He's got me buying gold. Like I'm routinely investing in gold now from Uncle Joe there. Man, just hilarious. He's doing football practice in his yard. It looks like amazing. That footwork
Dude
is
should
phenomenal.
dude should have his own TV show. There's no doubt.
If they're not working on that, that's a freebie. You guys should take that one.
Yeah, I think they got stuff going on. I mean, he's there. He's got some stuff going on.
Good.
He's got his shit figured out. But yeah, no, good dude. But yeah, you should come to that one next year.
I would definitely do it. I would
You
definitely.
should you should
I
come to
was
that one.
while you were talking a second ago, it got me thinking. I missed out on like 15 years of hunting because I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
And and it was like the 15 years where I would have probably tied one on every single night. It was my mid to late 20s and my early 30s. I missed all that. Because I didn't hunt at all down it during their time. Maybe a part of it is I haven't been a part of very many deer camps other than where I would go hang out with two of my buddies in Hillsdale at the campground, and we would pass around a bottle of Old Granddad and just take pulls until someone puked. Um, like that's all I ever really did. So, and then in my early 20s, when I first started hunting, we were up in like the Grayling area, getting hammered and never seeing deer, going to mod eaters and getting drunk and trying to hit deer with my truck on the way home. Like that's what we were doing. So there's like a whole like variety or category of deer camps that I never got to be a part of or see or witness or experience. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it, man. It's especially like the kind of like, you can go do what you want, or you can hop in with someone and go,
Yeah.
go tag team a little area,
Right.
come back, shit. We'd sit around, cook some food, hang out, and go watch
Mm-hmm.
Boogie.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your podcast, the Deer Camp podcast. We had a little brief interaction the other day on Facebook where I realized that somebody else has the exact same podcast name.
Yep.
Did you know that prior to?
Yes, I had that sent to me, that exact same one sent to me from Lucas that puts my podcast out.
Mm,
He's like, hey, just so you know. And I reached out, never got anything back. I had the same thing happen like a year and a half ago. The Deer Camp podcast came out and I hadn't done anything. I hit him up and was like, hey, just so you know, I own the website for the Deer Camp podcast. They're like, well, we own the what is it, the trademark or whatever. It's ours. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, so I got on, hired a lawyer, had it all looked through, and they don't own shit. They can't even
ah,
trademark it. You can't even trademark it because somebody already has like deer, deer something, deer camp magazine or something like that. And so there's
mm,
no, but yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things. It is what it is. I was talking to Kevin about that this weekend, and he's like, yeah, he's like, there's another deer hunter podcast. It's DEAR. I'm like, and you don't, he's like, yeah, it is what it is. He's like, they definitely get some of my traction, but what are you going to do? Imitation is the best form of flattery, right?
yeah.
I mean, if you're imitating me, you got an issue because I don't have, there ain't that many. If you think that using the name the Deer Camp Podcast is going to put you in stardom, it doesn't. I can tell you that.
Well, when you think about your show and you think about, where you've been and what you're doing and where you're going, like, do you feel like you'll ever or you're going to want to do different things with the show? Like, do you feel like you want to like maybe do a series, something just random, something different, something outlandish?
Yeah, I want to do more of the Deer Camp tours.
Yeah.
deer camp tour that I did last year. I did a couple of them last year. I want to do that. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed going to these, camps that have been around forever and just, kind of being like a fly on the wall. Not coming there to hunt, not coming there just to, I really enjoyed that. So I'd like to do more of that. If it was to ever be like if I had to choose between doing the podcast or doing a couple of those a year, I'd probably do a couple of those a year over the podcast every week.
You know how they do like the whitetail cribs?
Yeah.
You could do like a whitetail cribs deer camp version.
That's kind of like what I would love. That's the
Yeah.
way I want to go. We did the audio last year. We're gonna do the audio again this year. I'm not doing very many this year, mainly because I'm going to Iowa. Well, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm going to Iowa this year. So, um, but yeah, I'd like to do kind of that kind of style and something like that. Yeah, it'd just be cool.
So Iowa, huh?
Yeah,
How many points did you apply with?
6.
6. Man,
I should draw.
that's amazing.
Blyce and I have the same amount. We're going to the same place.
Oh,
Hopefully,
really?
hopefully at the same time. Yeah, we're
Uh,
trying to work on going at the same time.
that was my
So
next question is it by yourself?
no, I'm going to an outfitter. I'm going to an outfitter and hopefully going to the same or I'm going to the same spot as Blyce. We've been trying to see if the dates can work, but and yeah, I'll drive myself too. But
When you think about an outfitter, is it because of how much time you have invested, how infrequent you'll be able to go, and you want to kind of make it almost a for sure thing?
yeah, but there's no for sure thing in an outfitter.
Yeah.
I've been all over the place to outfitters, and I've only killed 2 deer out of like 8 trips. So, you know, that's yes, that and I don't go to an outfitter for like that. I go to an outfitter to keep people away from me. So I don't
Oh,
have that hunt, don't have that public land hunt fucked on a 6 year wait. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I don't want to, I wait 6 years, I spend $1,000 on a tag, and I find this primo spot, and then Bubba comes walking in at 8:30 in the morning and blows the whole place out.
what's Bubba wearing?
He's wearing Walls jumpsuit, going to his ladder stand with his crossbow. But I got nothing against crossbows because I probably would shoot one if I wouldn't get so much ridicule.
Is he smoking a cigarette?
Well, of course. He's got his thermos of coffee with him. Absolutely. We watched him come out of the woods last year during that hunt that we were on, me and my buddy Matt. I
A
called it
lot of
too.
them.
He's like, he's coming. I'm like, tell me he's like crossbow. I'm like, or ladder stand guy. I'm like, yeah, well, let me guess. He's got coveralls and he's carrying his crossbow like Elmer Fudd. I'm like, he'll be getting down at 9:30. Sure as shit, 9:30. Here he comes walking down.
I got to poop.
Yep, it's time to go. The deer quit moving this late in the day.
Right. They're all sleeping anyway.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I hope you draw. I hope you draw Iowa.
Dude, so I've had a little snafu too. I went to go apply for it and it wouldn't let me, it couldn't get through. Like it was like I said, I didn't realize I had to have my hunter's safety.
Yes.
So, I mean, well, I knew that. I just figured it was connected to my driver's license number, all that. No. So I'm like frantically with the state trying to figure out how I can get this. And they do not make that easy to get a new hunter safety, by the way,
No. And
like at all.
I have done it, so I remember this, but it's been a couple of years.
Well, I don't, do you have the Michigan app?
Yeah.
The DNR app,
Yeah.
your certificates are right in there. Like I got in there, I'm looking at mine, and I'm like, it only shows I have boater safety because they can just click a button and reprint it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't there. So I went we have a service center, right? A DNR service center right in Traverse. Oh no, they couldn't help me. Heaven forbid they could help me. I finally got somebody, one of the ladies there, like did me a favor, gave me this email address, and I emailed it to him. And at 7:03 this morning, I get an email back with my certificate in there. And because I'm thinking like I'm reading all the stuff, well, it could take up to 2 weeks, and I'm like, man, I'm pushing it close for the deadline.
Oh man.
So I immediately at 7:05 forwarded that to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, and now I'm just waiting for them to upload it in their system, and I'll be applying here in the next day or two.
I can't remember if it's Kansas or not, but one of them you just have to like if you don't have it, you can just certify that you've taken it. You just
Okay.
click a box. It's unfortunate because I got that tag. I got that orange piece of cardboard like in 1994. Uh, whether that thing could survive, it probably looks as bad as my social security card does. If
I
it's
don't know
some,
where that is either.
yeah, they give you these floppy little cardboard things and say you can't laminate this, but hold on to it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's long, long gone. But yeah, no, mine said 9/1/93 is when I got my hunter
That's
safety.
amazing. Do you remember where
I
you
was-
were when you took it?
Yep,
Like
I took it at the Cedar Rod and Gun Club. Yep, I
mine
remember
was
that. It
at the
was
Independence Township Library.
okay. I remember shooting 22s, and I remember, uh, yeah, because we grew up pre youth hunt. You didn't get to youth
Yeah,
hunt, right? I
no,
mean, I didn't. Yeah,
no. So I got my hunter safety and never had to shoot a gun.
really.
We just went. It was all like learning in a library, and they just gave it to us when we were done. Yep.
Did you have to like handle a gun or anything? They didn't have
Nope.
you like. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I'm thinking of something.
My
Maybe I'm
son
thinking of like what.
definitely did.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure we did. Being at the sea, I mean, let me think. That's only like 30 some years ago.
At the gun club would make sense, but I know for a fact we did not go anywhere else for supplemental training, which we definitely should have. Because the only hunting I ever did until I was in my 20s was bird hunting. And I got a hunter safety, but no gun training, except for I mean my dad, but
Yo,
that's funny.
yeah, I got basically did hunter safety and got pointed here. Here's your blind. Here's your gun. See you later.
We'll catch up
I'm
with you at
I'm
lunch.
I'm not screwing up my hunting. You're on your own, kid.
What do you got going on with food plots right now, man? Anything?
Yeah, we're I'm waiting. I think it's looking like we're gonna have some rain like end of the week. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get my Vitalize nitro boost in, get the spring plots going. Looking for a logger. I want to get some more logging done, but that's
Mm.
like pulling goddamn teeth. I don't even want any money. I just want them to come cut it. I don't need anything. Like, don't give me any money. Just take my trees, but take them now because every day is a day longer that I'm not getting that regen. I mean, it's. I'll have to. You'll if you're up this way, I'll have to give you a tour sometime. It's
Okay.
really turning into something around here. I'm
Well,
really happy with it.
I got a project that's getting born for Petoskey, so
Okay,
I'll be driving up. I mean, I don't know if it'll start this year, but maybe. So I'll be up north
nice. Okay,
for that.
Tasky's getting a Chipotle, huh?
Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't know that was going to be the first one up north, but yeah, it's gonna. It goes. The jump is Mount Pleasant, and then it'll be Petoskey. It's quite a stretch.
Staying the hell out of Traverse City.
They want to. I don't. I just they don't have this. They don't have the spot for it. So have you done any like prep work for your spring plots, or do you clear the land? Do you till it? Do you
No,
disc it? Nothing. You just drill it.
I will. No, actually, I broadcast it. I'm going to
Okay.
broadcast spring stuff. I will broadcast and then just pack.
Oh,
And
okay.
so fall, I'll do the same thing. I'll broadcast seed, fertilizer, and then I'll mow. And then
Hmm.
that'll give me a thatch layer on top of the seed bed and kind of act as we're trying to go as no-till as possible because I have the best beach sand in the entire country on my farm. It's amazing. I mean, you could build some hella sandcastles here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's so we're it's Al over there at Vitalize. He's like just intrigued because he's a soil guru. He's just intrigued by what we can do to my place to make it like an actual sustainable thing. I mean, we grew corn on it forever, but you can grow corn, I think, in the back of a truck like rye.
That's funny. Have you been doing that method of no till forever?
No, this is recent. This is the last couple of years. I'd always till it. I mean, it was that's how we grew up farming was I mean we tilled
Yeah.
everything. Till it, and plant it. So no, this is new, but this is when I started working with Jared and Al over there at Vitalize. That's
Yeah.
when we went into the no-till thing. And for one, it's one less step I have to do, so I like that. And then two, it's I'm not getting the erosion we were getting and that kind of stuff. So I'm happy with it.
I think I was listening to Al on a podcast when I first learned of that process a few years ago. And it is fascinating how many people do it one way, even today, knowing you don't need to. And I think there's a time and a place. I think he's even said there's a time and a place for glyphosate and or burning or what have you. But I really like the least amount of soil disturbances possible when you start hearing all those facts and figures from those guys who are, like you said, a soil nerd. Um,
Yep.
it's awesome to hear that he's such a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, dude, it's like he, I don't do anything anymore than I just call Al. Al, what am I doing? What am I doing this spring? How am I doing it, buddy? You tell me. I'm just here to work.
And are you a distributor for them as well?
Yep. I'm a dealer.
How does that work? Like
Uh,
if somebody wants to get some carbon load, what do they do? What do they do?
just get a hold of me. Just get a hold of me
Like
either
directly?
social media or social media or I've got it's turned into the way it works is being that you plant the spring to feed the fall and the fall and then turn feed the spring. It's kind of almost like a rotating. I've got a couple guys that buy the same amount every year and that's gain a few here, lose a few there, but it's mainly just the kind of almost like a co-op thing
That's
in
nice.
ways of just I get the pallet of it, and these guys buy what they need for their, because there's a couple guys up here doing some pretty good sized plots, like 5, 6 acres. I
Really,
mean, I think's a good sized plot.
that is a
I've
good
got,
size plot.
yeah. So
If I can't
it's
rake it, I ain't doing it.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
I don't have the equipment to do like a big plot. I don't have my own property either. So there's that.
That's probably the biggest downfall right there is not having any property to do it. You put it in your yard, like Boogie just planted in his yard, so you could do that.
I have some parts of the yard that we just don't use, and rather than mow it, I suppose I'd rather that it be, rather than spend the time cutting grass that nobody uses. I mean, I would rather plant something there that the wildlife could benefit from. You
Are
know,
you in the country?
yeah, country enough.
Country-ish?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm on a dirt road and I'm sitting currently in a 150-year-old barn that the road was named after, like the family that lived here. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, there you
it's
go.
country
Yeah,
enough.
that's
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
Country,
I mean, I
country
pee
enough.
outside. I pee outside. No one knows.
Yeah, I used to be able to do that, and then I got a parking lot next door to my house.
Damn, foiled again.
So much for yeah. So we border 180 acres of conservancy property, and there's 180 acres, and they decided that the parking lot should go next to my house. I think it's retaliation for where I put my house, but
Oh,
like stuffed it as close as I could get to where I was like never gonna have a neighbor. Well, I got every neighbor now. But
fuck.
that's here nor there. That is what it is. That's life. That's Traverse City, baby.
I think I remember you saying last year that in the summertime you're like Mr. Boatman.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got the boat
Yep.
out.
No, it's still sitting in the barn. I haven't done. We're doing this incredibly crazy project right now, and so it's kind of got we're building a concrete. Well, we're wiring it, but I've got guys just sitting there all day. It's a completely concrete poured wall, ceiling, everything. I think might be Tony Stark building this thing. So, but it's being built. Let me see if I can pull a picture up. It's being built inside of a barn. Like they built a barn to build this thing.
That's very bizarre.
Yeah, it's definitely not cost effective, I can tell you that. I mean, it was really nice this winter, but yeah, you can see like there's
What the hell?
yeah, that's isn't that nuts? That's that's inside of a pole barn. And then they'll take the pole
A
barn
bomb
down.
shelter?
Yeah, and I more money than I got, I can tell you
Crazy,
that.
crazy sex room?
It's his office.
Sure
Like
it
a
is.
office, pool. There's like a endless pool. It's I mean it's either concrete or glass, and there's a lot of each.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, it's
Although I will say, when I walked out here, my old man neighbor was cutting his grass. I'm like, dude, you had all day to cut your grass, and now I'm gonna have a push mower in the background of this podcast that I'm gonna have to edit out. All day you could have mowed that thing like I did. Here we are, 8 o'clock. Fire that
well,
up.
time to mow.
Oh. Yep. Well, are you do you have any trips planned for the summertime?
We don't. This is like the first time in years we don't have some. We'll go camping. We just don't have anything planned. I'd like to take a UP trip. That's kind of our. We've been talking about doing that. Like, but last year the wife and I just like we hopped in we grabbed the little trailer I built and the truck, and we just took off, and we would just get on the DNR's website, find a campground that had an open site, and we just kind of, it was kind of fun doing that. So we might do that again.
That's a good
Just
idea.
like wing it and see what happens.
Do you have somewhere in the UP that you guys like to go?
No, not really. I
Hmm.
mean, used to. I used to spend a lot of time in the UP, but for the last like 10 years, we've been spending we were until up until last year, we spent all our time in our gray all summer long
Hmm.
walleye fishing, coming down to Saginaw Bay. So and then once the kids got older, that got just to be a little too much. So, and they don't like driving in the car for 3 hours every weekend.
Yeah. See, way to circle back on that one.
Yeah. You
You got
know?
any plans to come to an NRC meeting?
Yes, I was planning on being at this one. It's just the work just got me. Yes, I'm definitely planning on once I get through, probably the July one will be the one I'm coming to.
Josh is
But
working his ass off, man.
dude, I called him like on his way home, and just like we talked for like 20 minutes, and he was like on a high of all highs. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you. So happy that you're doing this. I mean, it's what we needed, and we're getting victories.
Yeah,
So
and the idea that we don't all have to be there every single time is
yes,
kind of a relief because it's nice to know that there are several of us that share similar sentiment on what we should be doing or how or the direction we need to be going. But also with the understanding that we can take turns going, and having a presence there by somebody like-minded is really kind of refreshing. Um, I was I was blown away by the one 2 months ago, not the one that we just had, the one prior to it, just because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how much information was going to be shared. I didn't know sort of the dynamic between the DNR and the NRC. I didn't know how contentious it was. Um, and until you're sitting there and you reading people's body language from the DNR, and you're hearing the tone of their voice, and you're reading the body language of the people in the NRC and how they're almost looking down at
really,
times at times on certain people speaking. And so um just being a fly on the wall for me that day was really eye opening, and of course I didn't know I needed an entire day. Like I only had like half a day. So I missed the whole public comment, but
okay.
I definitely want to
Did
go back.
did you go this last time, or
I,
you?
I didn't.
Okay.
No. I definitely want to go back, and I definitely want to see what the agenda is, and potentially speak. I don't have necessarily an agenda on what I would say, just kind of sharing some sentiment of how uh, eye opening it was to be present. Thankful that it's an opportunity for people to speak, and to see change happening. Just letting them know that we are watching and we're paying very close
Yes.
attention, because I think for a long time I did not know how long they have been present in this state. Nobody talked about that when I was 20 years old,
The
21, 22.
NRC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed up until a couple of years ago. I had no
When,
idea.
when
No clue.
Josh
I
said
thought it
it
was a
got,
D,
yeah. When
I
he
thought it was
said
the
it was,
NRC or the DNR. Was that
I
what?
thought it was forever.
Hmm.
And then to find out that it was like from 1996, I'm like,
No
dude, I
idea.
was 15 years old and I had never heard of it. I've never heard of it until 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Never heard of it. And I don't know if that was their intention. Like, hey,
I,
fly under the radar. Oh,
that's how things get done. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I didn't really, let's see, when that shit happened or last year, was it last year or the year before when we did the podcast with Matt and Josh, with
I think it
the,
was the beginning of last year, probably.
yeah, okay. That's when I found out about the NRC.
Yeah.
Like shortly before that, I had no clue
Yep.
that it
Yeah.
was
So
even a
same.
thing. And then, I just thought Chad Stewart did everything.
Yeah. Or whoever else was in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I for sure thought that they made all the decisions.
Yeah.
And so that's an opportunity where social media, that's an example of where social media is a good thing because it really spread like wildfire as soon as people started talking about what was happening, good and bad, and then sharing the agenda, sharing the meeting information, doing those blasts like Josh does, and getting in touch with everybody. Like that is a true positive for
Yes.
social media.
Yeah. Nobody's taking a shit, thank goodness.
That's right. Well, hopefully we can meet up at one of those.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like as soon as this work shit slows down, I got so that where that job's going is in a gated community, and we got to be out of there by like the 15th of June. So I'm not, I can't counting down the days. It's like a 2 or 3 year project. So
God dang.
yeah.
That's amazing. Well, what do you got going on for deer season right now? What are you thinking about? What are you planning? What are you scheming about?
Oh, dude, I'm gone every weekend like normal. Start out, we go to West Virginia for a hunt with Jared, the Habitat Podcast, his Patreon group. One of the members is throwing a hunt for other members, so
Hmm,
we're gonna go out to do that. And then the weekend after that is the Deer Hunter podcast hunt, which you're coming to this year. And then after that, where am I? I'd have to look. I think I have a week. I think I have a week off, and then I go to a deer camp in the UP, and then it's Iowa, and I'm going to hopefully going to Iowa until I kill something. I'm hoping that I can. I'm trying to work those details out right now to like go November, end of October, 1st of November, and stay until I'm done.
dude,
Well, at least,
my next question was, how did you broach that subject with the wife?
dude, my wife is 100% amazing when it comes to this. I give her 9 months a year where it's whatever you want to do, and she gives me three to go chase this. It doesn't hurt that her dad is as psycho of a whitetail hunter as we are. So that she's been around it her entire life. I'm there for the major shit. And if I'm home, I'm home. Like I'm
Yeah,
not it's not like I might be gone every weekend, but when I'm home during the week, I'm home. If I'm hunting, I'm usually hunting behind the house and I take one of the kids with me. We'll go sit in a box blind or it's kind of so yeah, I've got I hit the lotto when it came to wives for that kind of stuff for sure.
you man, that's pretty incredible. I have contemplated having the conversation and even inviting the family along again. Like I took them with me to Kansas the first year I went by myself because I wanted them to experience another state like out in the Midwest. Like we've never been there, and so I thought they would enjoy it. But I hunted my ass off and didn't do anything with them, and that rubbed them the wrong way. And so I would do that differently um, another time. But I also thought about saying to them, I want to go there until I get it done, and I can work remotely, and so maybe they come for an extended period of time again. And I like the idea of not having a clock ticking in the back of my mind. And that
Yeah,
was something that burnt me a lot last year was the clock was always ticking.
I don't know if I can afford it, but that's my plan. That's what I'd want to do anyway. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm going to a piece of public where I can just hang
That's
out too.
true.
So
That's
we'll
true.
see. I told her though, I said, this is it. This is the big one. This is the last big one. The last big because I did outfitters for up until last year. The last like 8, 10 years, I would go to
Yeah.
an outfitter every year. And it's I can tell you some good stories, I can tell you some bad stories, I mean I can tell you some scams. I mean it's one of those things. It's not, it's not a guarantee. And
Right.
a lot of times there's a lot of fucking butts that have been sitting in that seat before you. And I guess if you're gonna go pay, you better know what you're getting into. Well, I
Yeah.
know if Boise's gonna go there, I'll go there.
Yeah. He speaks very highly of it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I
No.
would entertain it. I would 100% entertain that exact outfitter just based on the positive feedback and the trusted referral that he is and you guys are. Like I would 100% do it. Um, we'll see what happens in the next 3 years. Hopefully I can draw at six by the time I get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's freaking nuts. Yeah, I've been talking to Chad for 6 years since I started applying for Iowa.
Ah,
I Before I even knew Aaron, I saw it was on what the heck show was that? This is the Red Arrow. The Kip Campbell guy
Oh yeah.
was there, and I
Okay.
saw that, and I was like, "This is where I'm going when I can draw Iowa." And then found out, met Blasey, found out he'd been there and killed the Hambino and all that, and I was like, "Man, this is definitely I'm in." Like if these guys are saying I'm in, so yeah. And Chad's, I don't know, he's one hell of. I mean, I feel like we're like good buddies, and I've never even met the man. I've talked to him on the phone for I mean, you get him on the phone sometimes you can't get him off. I mean, he's just a salt of the earth, just wants to talk and just
Yeah,
he'll be out running a tractor doing something just bullshitting.
that is.
But so yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited now that I got my hunter safety back because I was really freaking out about that. Like I was like, don't tell me this is all coming together and then it's not gonna happen because I was an idiot and didn't figure this out sooner.
Let that be a lesson to anybody who wants to apply to Iowa. Make sure you have your hunter safety certificate located.
Yep. And then make sure that you have it to the DNR because you have to email it. Just email it to them. There's like not a spot where you can like in their app where you can take a picture and upload it
Oh, I
like
didn't know
that.
that.
You have to actually email it to them. It shows right in their thing. But email it to this email address.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna just get that out of the way. I'm writing the words hunter because I'm the guy who waits till the 11th hour to do
Yeah.
so
hmm
try and break that bad habit. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good one to. But I used to be the guy that would prepare too far in advance, and then I'm gonna pretty much say around kids is where it went the exact opposite way, and now it's like the end of 11th hour 59th minute 30 seconds to go guy. But
If you were at a bar with some buddies, and let's say maybe you had some cocktails, okay, and you decided you were going to do karaoke. Maybe that's your thing, maybe that's not your thing. But let's say you had some cocktails and you're with the buddies and you're going to put on a show and you're going to do some karaoke. What song is Hutchie doing karaoke to?
dude, we're doing Top Gun. She lost that love and feeling. We
Oh,
oh yeah,
righteous.
baby.
Is that
That's
the
what we're
Righteous
that
Brothers?
I don't even know. I just know we're doing it. So
It is. That
funny
is the
story
Righteous
back
Brothers.
back in my early 20s when we used to go out partying, me and a couple buddies would always go to this piano bar in Traverse City and we would serenade some girl with that song every time we were out. It never worked out, but we did it.
How old do you think the Righteous Brothers are?
Oh
Hold on.
shit.
Do you think they're alive? Damn, I gave it away by asking the first question.
No, I do not think they're alive. I think
They're a
that's
fucking
an
one hundred
old
percent,
song.
dude. They're 100% alive.
Okay. All right.
And here's how I know this. I God, where the fuck was I going to or coming from? I must have been on my way back to Michigan from Illinois recently, and I saw a billboard for the Righteous Brothers playing at Soaring Eagle. I'm pretty sure it was Soaring Eagle, or maybe it was one of those ones over on the west side of the state.
Okay.
And I went on a tirade on my fucking phone about the Righteous Brothers, and I was recording all the shit, and then the audio didn't work, and I couldn't post it on Instagram. But I would have bet you $1 million that the Righteous Brothers were long dead.
Dude, I thought, yeah, I did too. I would have said that was like, I don't know, what a song from the 50s?
Well, here's the thing. This is almost like the Mandela effect. In your brain, those were old dudes when that song came out, but
Uh-huh.
they weren't. They were young. I think they were younger than us when that song came out.
Okay.
And it's really not as old as you think.
That I wouldn't have guessed.
I know. I'm like, how in the fuck are the Righteous Brothers still touring? They've got to be in the grave, and they are not. They are older gentlemen. But then I proceeded to listen to all of the bangers that those two gentlemen and the old panty droppers that those two gentlemen have put out over the years. And man, they've got some hits. That's a great choice.
It's going on the Spotify list right now.
That is going in the intro to this podcast.
All right.
Hell yes.
You
That's a
put it.
great
You put
one, man.
music. Do you put music on every time in your intro?
I do so I do like a scratchy radio, like you're going through the dial, And then
Okay.
in between, I'll land on a couple of like songs that I've curated
Okay.
for it. Um, and so it's going to be Righteous Brothers this time, like
All right.
Righteous Brothers songs, and then we'll
Oh
go into
boy.
the podcast.
Heck yeah. So where are you I mean, you took a little hiatus, didn't you, for a little bit?
I keep not being able to get people to commit to recording, and so then I am like, oh my god, it's been 3 weeks. I got to do a podcast. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's that is the absolute hardest part about doing a podcast.
I mean, it's
I can sit here and talk and record. It's easy, and
yeah,
I don't edit, so that's even easier for me. I just send my Zoom file to Lucas, and he does whatever he does, and it goes on Friday. But yeah, getting people to like commit, and then like getting them to like not flake out. I mean,
yeah.
I I've been pounding as many as I can, and like I keep them. Like I think I have three recorded right now, and then I'm still going because I've been in that same situation. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep going weekly. Even I'm just doing. If I'm just doing it for me, why am I? Why do I have to? I don't know. But I enjoy doing it. So
I love doing it. I love editing. I love editing the video. I love putting together little blurbs of bullshit, like little blurbs of nonsense, fake ads, fake fucking reads. Like, I love doing that shit. But all of a sudden, 2 weeks, because I committed to doing 2 weeks, all of a sudden, 2 weeks will have gone by, and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't put out a fucking, I haven't recorded with anybody. Um, I'm just bad. I'm just bad about it. Just bad. It was better like when I did a podcast with my brother, and it was like we're doing every Wednesday at 9. Every Wednesday at 9 we record. No ifs, ands, or maybes. It was way easier because it was just he and I.
yeah, you weren't doing a lot of guests, right?
No, it was no guests. I mean,
Okay.
occasionally my wife would come join in. Like I was gonna record a podcast with her on here, and then she got sick and she lost her voice. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I had one in the bag, so that's coming.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
How does your wife
What
feel about podcasting?
she's, I mean, she enjoys it. I get so much enjoyment out of it, but
No.
she's like, what the you're doing? Fucking what? You're
Playing,
podcasting.
playing radio
You're
again.
you're going to hang out with your internet friends again.
Yes, I am, dear.
Are you afraid you're gonna ever? I'm like, yeah, I pulled into some shit and been like, I really don't know what I'm getting into, but we're gonna find out.
Oh, I stayed with Matt Lear in a hotel in January last year. Like I had met him before, but still,
Yeah.
it's like, you're going to stay with another dude at a hotel that I've never met? I'm like, yes, that she's never met. She's like, I don't know this guy. And so she's like, could you just put your location services on just in case I need to figure out where you're at? And I'm like, well, she said something the other day. She's like, I'm afraid you're going to get kidnapped. I go, no one's going to fucking kidnap me.
What's making me?
Why? I am not anybody's target. No one is looking to kidnap a mid 40s dude who's missing a front.
Yeah,
Nobody. Women,
nobody.
I understand. Children, gross. I understand it though. Like predators are seeking easy targets. I
I'm
am
not.
not one of those. But she's afraid I'm going to get kidnapped in fucking the middle of in that area in Ohio where there's no cell service. She's like, I don't like that. You're going to get kidnapped. I'm like, who by the fucking Amish? You're going to put me in their buggy and drive, gallop away with me? That made her feel better. There was Amish people over there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. How was that? How was hunting around the Amish?
I never interacted with them. I did one sit there last year on a whim. I got up super early one morning and just drove down there and really liked the area. Has spent some more time there this spring and found some really good sign. I'll hunt more there this year, but last year I never saw them. I just know they're there based on what I see them on the road. But yeah, it's an interesting area. I've never spent any time where there's no cell service. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, I'd go back to like the early days of hunting in the UP. We had to have no cell service, but yeah, it's been a very long time since I've been anywhere that I haven't had any cell service.
It makes me feel like a little bit of a bitch when I can't get my phone to work and I'm frustrated about it. Because, like you said, I remember in like 2001, 2002, over there when we would go up to Grayling, the Grayling area, and we would hunt in those areas. We didn't have
So
there was no cell phone. I mean, we had Nextels, but we weren't using maps. It was like you take that 2 track. I just know where it goes. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, and then you pack your way in or toilet paper your way in or
yeah,
something. Go find your spot and go hunting.
yep. With my
Heck of a
climber on
deal.
my back, mobile hunting in the early days, like with the climber.
Yeah, there's one. There's a climber down in Illinois in the woods somewhere. If somebody wants it, because I left it. I was like, this thing's stupid. I'm done with it, and it can stay right here.
Is it in northern Illinois or southern Illinois?
It's down in Pike County.
Oh,
It's at an outfitter.
I
But he
found
was.
one. I found one in northern Illinois, and when I went back there this year, it hadn't moved. So it went a whole year and no one touched it.
I found one like that too, back in some swamp north of me here. Got way back in, and I was like, "Holy shit, there's a climber!" And what I'm assuming they must pull it out every gun season or whatever because they had it chained to the tree. It wasn't like it was less locked to the tree. I mean, we're talking like it was like a mile and a half back in. Like I ain't going that far in there,
Damn.
and I'm definitely not taking that thing back out there that far. But yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really get mobile till saddles. Honestly, I did a little bit, but not up until the last couple of years. I mean, I hunted the home farm. I was a private land runner. I'd go hunt a little bit of stuff out in the National Lake Shore, but other than that,
The saddle changed my life, man.
yeah.
I mean, changed my fucking life. The saddle and hurting myself changed my fucking life. Completely changed my life. And
Okay.
I'll never look at anything the same way ever again for the rest of my life. And it's
Explain.
well, when I hurt my eye and realized how frail I am, not frail, but like how fragile everything is. Like I can't I could play hockey today, but I'm super nervous that someone's going to blindside me on the right hand side because I can't fucking see over there. Having to
Okay.
change from right hand to left hand, like waiting to do things for other people to join you, like I'm not waiting anymore because like I could hurt myself tomorrow and then I will have wondered, well, I should have gone, I should have done this, I should have gone there. And as far as the saddle's concerned, I sat preset stands forever on the same property. And you would make notes and then you would change your fucking stands in the spring or the summer for the way that the deer moved last fall. Well, you're way too late.
Hmm.
So having, sitting there going, I need to be 50 yards over there, getting that saddle and literally doing it same day has changed everything.
Hmm.
I almost never hunt a preset stand anymore unless I see something where it works and I still just wear my saddle as my safety harness. Changed my whole life,
Nice.
man. But the injury was like the injury changed my life from a mentality standpoint and just do it now standpoint. Like I'm just doing everything when I want to do it now because I'm not getting any younger and life is fragile. And the saddle just changed the way I hunt forever. I'll never do anything. I could sit. I just did it the other day, Thursday night. My son had his first baseball practice, and I saw somebody I hadn't seen in a really long time. And we started talking about hunting. And he's like, "Hey, have you ever saddle hunted? Bitch, don't ask me that, and don't expect me to not talk for 20 minutes about latitude and the saddle game and how great everything is, because I will talk your ear off about it. I love it.
Yeah. Are you rocking a method too, or what are you rocking?
So I got a Maverick last year
Okay.
and absolutely love it.
Okay.
And I run their carbon sticks, but I had a Lone Wolf platform, the Fix platform, and so I run that with the carbon sticks.
Okay.
And I just
Yeah.
picked up some super featherlight ropes this year.
Saw that. You just put that on social media.
And I had seen Aaron with the TX5 ropes before.
Okay.
It's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, you're gonna get me in trouble. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna say anything. Just what is it? And he's like, these are TX5 ropes, and that they don't make them anymore. Well, I found someone getting rid of a tether on one of the marketplaces, and I picked that up, and I just picked up that one today. I got it today from Wildline Ropes for the lineman's belt, but it's like 5 ounces, dude. 5 ounces.
How many mil are they?
I don't know. Six, I think.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah. It's like just string in your hand. It's amazing.
God, I remember looking at something. Was it what was it? It was at the Mobile Hunters
It was
thing. There
at
was
the
some
expo.
guy.
It
Yeah,
was
was it
him.
that was that him? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was like shoestring.
Yeah.
Like,
So I just got
oh
that in
yeah.
the mail today, dude. It's super nice.
That's sweet. I'm still rocking a classic. I
That
fucking
I loved it,
love.
but I donated it to my little brother.
I have two. I have the one I use and I have one in a box. I think I've never even opened it. It's like one of those like I'm gonna have it for the museum later or when
Love
this
that.
one finally, dude, I'm totally in love with that saddle. Wish they bring I didn't care for the Maverick. I didn't care for
Really?
the Maverick. I didn't care for the Maverick. I didn't care for the Lone Star. I didn't too I guess I didn't realize you could flip it for one, but I didn't like that dress feeling like
Mm,
walking. Because I wear my saddle everywhere. I don't put it on at
me
the tree.
too.
I put it on when I get out there and I walk it in.
Yeah, me too. I haven't thought about that feeling. I haven't it hasn't struck me that that is bothersome to me. I agree with you. I would hunt that classic still if I didn't get the Maverick. And I really my brother had been making comments and I'm like, listen, man, you need a saddle and a platform. And as soon as I got the Maverick, I'm like, here, just take it. And tell me that I haven't been right this whole time. Now he loves it.
Yeah,
So
it's the most comfortable thing to sit in is a saddle. There is
yeah,
no doubt.
yeah,
No doubt at all.
I love it. I just like I said, I love swimming and shit, but like I'm already ready for fall.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm like summer. I love fishing. I love fishing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love fishing and I love being out on the boat, but I am ready for it to be cold and that's crisp mornings. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm I'm mentally ready,
Yep, I got some
physically.
cameras out and I got some antler growth already down in Ohio, and
All right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some more out. I need to get to Illinois, get some cameras out in Illinois. That's hard. I just can't get away for long enough to make that trip worth it. But I need to
Yeah,
get
that's a
over
good. That's a good job. I mean, so is that where you're gonna hunt this year? Ohio, Illinois, Kansas? You're everywhere.
there. Yep, those four. So Michigan and Ohio are where I work, so I'll hunt those two for sure.
Okay.
I just I love Illinois. I have a lease in Illinois. I love it. I'll probably go there until I can't afford the tags or until they go to a draw system. Like I'll just keep going. Um, the landowner's really cool. I asked him if he could help me do some food plots this year. He said he'd love to.
Oh, nice.
Um, and then Kansas, like I would move to Kansas.
That's what people have said, man. I've heard like I've never been west of St. Louis. I mean, I've been to Texas and I've been west of St. Louis, but I haven't been like out, I've never
Yeah,
been to Iowa. Yeah, I've never been, like out that far. And I'm excited to get out there.
I loved it. I felt the same way about, we were in Southern Nebraska last year. I felt the same way. It's like you've gone back in time. The people are genuinely nice.
Yeah.
It's so quiet and beautiful and slow. It's much more slow paced. Not even just for the hunting. Yeah, yes, the hunting, but also just a more
The
peaceful,
people.
peaceful
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I was this age in the 80s,
Hmm.
you
So
know?
I am putting money away to buy land in Kansas. Like
Okay.
that's the plan.
I don't know what my plan is. Fight for this place as long as I can. I mean, we're like the first thing outside of town, like the first piece of decent sized piece of property outside of town, and feel like I'm gonna be John Dutton someday, fighting to save the
You're right.
ranch.
I think you're right.
I do. I know I'm right, and I hate that fact of it. And it's like, how long do you fight before? Obviously, everything. Mom's still alive. She's healthier and healthy, and she wants to live on this farm until she dies, and so we're gonna make sure that happens. But after that, I don't know. I mean, depends on where I'm at business wise and kid wise, and we may we may end up as your neighbor in Kansas. Who knows?
Fine with that. Buy a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 acres in Kansas and just put like a compound out there. Some
That'd be sweet.
smart people, capable people.
Yeah, he's
Not letting
smart,
anybody
capable
fuck with
people.
us.
Build a wall.
Wait a minute. That's racist. I'll help.
Oh, oh shit.
Well, it was good catching up with you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man. Let's do it again for sure, man. If
You
you
bet.
need, yeah, I'm always down to do this. So,
Well, if you want people to follow around with you and listen to the show, man, where can people find you?
you can find me on the Deer Camp podcast on Spotify and Instagram, or not Instagram, yeah, on Instagram too, but Spotify and Apple and wherever you get your podcast,
LinkedIn.
Instagram, LinkedIn. No, no LinkedIn. I'm not linked. I'm not linked. No linked. And then Andrew Hutchens on Facebook. But
Nice.
other than that, I'm voted best podcast by my mom 2 years running.
Dude,
So
if you don't get a fucking shirt that says that for
I
Vistenson
can't I
Beer
can't I
Camp,
can't take the I can't take the credit for that. That was
damn it.
Dan Johnson said that to me a couple weeks ago when we did one. He's like, "Yep, best. This is mine's best podcast voted by, my mom." And I
Oh,
don't think she's ever listened to it. I was like, "Dude, that is great."
I love that so much.
Yeah, best voted number one podcast by my mom.
Well, then you should make him that shirt and send it to him.
I should. I should. That's a good idea. All right. Well, yeah,
Thanks,
thanks
brother.
for having me on, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll talk to y'all later.